Hello, hello. Welcome to Piece of Pat Paints. I'm Pat. I paint various things on the internet. Welcome to all the new subscribers. We got a several new subscribers over the weekend, which was awesome. Welcome to all the old subscribers too. I really appreciate everybody who takes time to kind of hang out with me and watch this. Me goofing off. All our stuff's off the shelves because we went and did a now our brain's not doing well. An expo. We went to an expo. It was the Triple C. It's a crafts, collectibles, and creations. It's fun. It was out in El Reno. I don't know that was necessarily our crowd, but we did grab several subscribers that were there for a dog show, which is kind of fun, and a few people that were there just to hang out, and some another painter or two. I think we met 2 painters, which is awesome. So big shout out to everybody who stopped by our booth at the expo. That was amazing. We had a lot of fun talking to people. The ones that managed to stop by and talk to us. Most people out there were looking for birdhouses and things like that. Which I get it. Or Christmas ornaments. I think maybe if we had more, Christmas ornaments or stuff like that, we probably would have done better. But that's kind of the deal. Maybe sometimes you gotta find the right kind of I don't know how to say this exactly. Oh, hey, there's Sir McBeardsly. Yeah, you've got to find like the right types of clientele. There's just some. If you're there, if most people there are looking for antique collectibles, and you're selling, little painted war game guys, it's not the clientele. So, that's the cool thing about these things is you got to go do them, you got to learn, and that's just kind of how it goes. So, but like I said, we did pick up several subscribers, which was really cool, and maybe a link or a contact into some more interesting things further on down the line. All right. So there's that. I haven't been feeling too well, so I'm gonna probably cough a lot, and I start thinking about it, and I'm all about to start coughing. But we're gonna go through it anyway. Hopefully we're gonna get to the bottom of this. I have an appointment on Thursday. I don't know if we're going to be on the show or not on Thursday, just as a kind of put that in the video. I'm going to go see a neurologist. Ugh. Who wants to do that? Nobody wants to do that. Well, okay, notwithstanding people who maybe like medical, they're into that sort of thing. There's those sort of people, which I find it really strange. Do you, man, whatever. I'm definitely not going to hate on anybody for what they like to do. So, yeah, there's that. All right, we're shrinking ourselves back up here. Paul, my opening sign. Oh, good. I'm staying on. I'm trying to, keep my intros in, 5 minutes. Because it just seems like, whoa, that was bright. It's like starting up a car. I'm trying to keep my intros at a certain time limit. I don't know if that's really that important or not. This is like under 5 minutes to do the intro. Because people came here probably to watch me model, not run my mouth. Although some people might have come here to watch me run my mouth. You never really know. Alright, so my oldest son actually had started working on this army prior, so I'll go ahead and check these guys out off camera. This is my older boy. He's pretty good. He's pretty on top of stuff. Looks like we might have a missing shoulder pad. It was this one, so I'll have to get that back on there. That's not a big deal. Maybe work on it. There's a few little spots I might need to check. I'm a little more picky. That's how it goes. So anyway, you've got a couple. These are already great looking. This one's got some stress on it. Okay, so you see this, if you see this right here, that means we've had some stress on this model. Now, this model's been sitting around in a box for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. So it means it got bent. Just kind of give it a little bit of a twist to kind of bring it back up to even where we want it. All right. Yeah, these are some great models. They're a lot of fun. I really love the look of the Khorne Berzerkers. They're really neat. Giant great chain sword. Insanity. Let's see. Sir McBeardsly went and got some fun ingredients at the Asian market. That's sweet. Ton of shallots just to have on hand. Some nice peanut oil, soy sauce, and some MSG. Some well cooked. Yeah. Get yourself a shovel and a skimmer. Big old wok tongs. I do a lot of walkie. So anyway, thanks for everybody who stops by. Give us a like and a subscribe. Really appreciate all that stuff. It really does help move the channel along. Got some. Looks like he picked out some heads already for those three guys. We get to pick out a kid for this next guy we're working on. And they've all got these fun kind of like giant weird headdresses to them, which are really cool. And he did good. He actually did not attach these heads just yet. They're a lot more complicated, so we might want to get some of this other stuff painted behind here before we attach the heads. Anywho, that needs to go with you, my friend. All right, so we have this stuff all snipped out. And what you really want to watch out for are things like this burr right here. Pretty simple to get off though. Just kind of give it just a little bit of a pop with that. Now this is going to be underneath a pauldron, so we're not going to see all that. We do want that pauldron to fit on flush. And it looks like he did all right. Most of this stuff is pretty cleaned up. Just maybe a little bit of mold line removal right there. Now, mold line removal really comes down to how tedious you really want to be about it. A lot of people really want to have a lot of it off of there. They really want to get it down thin. Some people don't feel like it's that important, so they just do a little minimal work on it. And you got to find your own place there. Be super careful. X-Acto knives are very, very sharp. Oop. You could even wear a guard if you wanted to. You can get like a Kevlar glove for your other hand, so that if you slip, and it won't actually nick your skin. I was a chef before I started doing this, so like I am 100% used to working with knives. So I have a little bit of a different, like, knives and me have a different kind of bond, I suppose, is the way to say it. I very rarely cut myself anymore. I did when I was a young man, but nowadays, even now I've been off the line for years, I've still pretty much got knives and me are still pretty good friends. Right, so here's one right here. And these little moles, these little suckers, I don't even know if you can see this, even with the magnifying glass. It's so hard to see, but like right here, there's just a little tiny line. And it really disguises itself well when it gets into here. But right there on that, if we want that to look clean, we gotta remove that line. And it seems like an obsessive thing to go after. And maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe that's a little obsessive. That's okay. Yeah, McBeardsly want to use the walk more often. Yeah, definitely, man. Walks are cool. If you, what size do you have? The one I have is huge. I think you remember my walk. I have a giant walk. It's like this freaking big. I love it, but I really, that one you kind of have to pull out for parties. I really need to invest in a smaller one. We use the flat top a lot around here, though. I have a flat top. It's an electric flat top that's made for like a real kitchen or a food truck. Because we have a ton of industrial equipment for here, an industrial meat grinder, and like What noodles? Stir fry for noodles. Well, okay, it depends. As far as like noodles, really depends on what you're trying to make. If it's like a yeah. I like those little 14ers. I think the one I have is like a 28 or something like that. It is massive. And just getting it out is kind of like, oh gosh. But man, I love it. It's good stuff. But noodles will depend on what you're doing. If the sauce is a lighter sauce, you want like the rice stick noodles or something like that. But if it's like a heavier flavor or like a denser sauce, you might want like a broader noodle or something like a soba or something that's going to have some flavor to it. Really just depends on what you want. I mean, like honestly, it's like with pasta, you can really eat whatever you want on whatever you want. Yes, okay, so there's a certain, you're supposed to eat this pasta with this kind of whatever. That's a thing. But, honestly, pasta is pasta. You can, you can mix and match it a little bit. It's alright. I would definitely go with what you like. But I will say, like, if it's a thicker sauce, broader noodles. I like broader noodles with the thicker sauce. Yeah. Do some soba noodles. A little buckwheat pasta. It really just depends on what the sauce is. That's all. I mean, even with I say you don't have to have Italian food, but like there's some points in there where it is better to have one sauce versus another. Like I've never understood the idea of eating meat sauce on angel hair. Like I don't get that one. That one I don't get. I want something a little broader, a little wider maybe. I'm definitely not interested in. All right, so that's kind of. Now again, it pays to pull out a little file and just kind of. This one's not quite. Need to be cleaned up. I was using it to file that Millput. Millput loves to clog up your files. That's okay. I'll clean it out in a minute. Good set of files is a great investment if you plan on modeling for a long period of time. It'll save you a lot of money in sandpaper or file sticks. But there's every now and again, I will say this, every now and again, I prefer a sanding stick to a file. But that's usually a very specific thing. I do have some sanding sticks, and I do like them. But what I use them for is usually like a very specific thing. Like using them more on like cars or vehicles in general. All right, that's the two there for now. So, this is my favorite to use for these type of sprue model kits. It doesn't really work for resin. This will not work on resin. You'll need super glue or something like that. But if it's a standard plastic model, This is my go-to stuff. I have tons of it. And you can use it to make sprue goo, which is fantastic. We're slowly getting ourselves some. This is our clear sprue goo. And that is like literally liquid plastic, which is awesome. I mean, it's like, it's like plastic. I don't know if you can see the string in there, but you can see it running around there. That's not glue anymore. I melted clear plastic into it. So basically I have like liquid plastic. And I have some of it that's gray as well. So sprue goo, super awesome thing to learn. It literally is just a little bit of your extra thin cement and a little bit of sprue, which is what this part is. So you just cut that up and you throw it in your excess glue, and it makes sprue goo. It's fantastic. Really important thing to learn how to do, or learn about. I guess it's not much to learn how to do it. You just just put it together. Okay, so I could look at the instructions, but I don't think we really honestly need to. There we go. Listen, I'm not 100%, but I'm still alive, guys. I'm still making it. It'll be all right. I love this stuff for these little models, especially because it's make sure you got your fans on and all that stuff. I got a window open here on my left. You could even use like a rebreather or something like that if you felt like you needed to. Some nice firm pushes. Make sure we're settled into the right place. I'm feeling this. It's gonna go there. We'll look at the instructions here in a second, but I'm pretty sure that's gonna go right there, because that makes sense. Get back on there. Look at it. Get back on there. Got a little ahead of myself. All right. Nice firm push. Easy peasy. Alright, we got this arm. Oh yeah, that's kind of fun. Might want to honestly leave this arm off, because it is coming all the way across. So we might want to come back and add that arm. He's got some stuff on down here. Oh, that's a fun arm. That one. This one. I like that one. What a dramatic pose. That's a lot of fun. Okay. So we got the same decision to make here. We gotta really should take a look at this. See, I don't think that's gonna affect as much stuff. So we should be able to put that on there. Late stream today. Is it? I thought we always go on at 11. Am I tripping? Oh, we have a time change. I bet you're in a place that doesn't have a time change. Yeah, it's uh, so the Americans in some other parts of the world do this weird thing where we still like change the clocks. It doesn't. I've never really kind of. I mean, I understand why we did it, but I've never really understood why we're still doing it. It does. That's where I'm like, guys, what do we do? Because at this point, like, it made sense back when it was like, oh, we're trying to keep the crops and the farms and the yeah. Like, it made sense back then, but now it doesn't make. They like say, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's like if they would leave it alone here in Oklahoma, it would probably do about the same. But yeah, I don't know. Oh no, wildness, absolute wildness, unnecessary craziness. That's fun. Just a little bit of glue. We'll drop that guy right in there. I'll let that sit up. All right. So it's also got this. What does this go to? I wonder. Oh, it's this gun holster. I bet. Yeah, it's an empty gun holster. Yep. Wait, you stay in your hole. Go in your hole. Don't you want to go in your hole? Been doing all right. Only had like 3 Caesars today, I guess, 2 or 3. I'm really getting tired of that stuff. All right, we're gonna let him be for now. We'll glue this on there, and then we'll get that on there later. We really want to wait. Like I said, we'll put that on there until later. It's so weird. And like I said, it worked when the world didn't run on what it runs on now. Like the world just runs differently now. It's not the same kind of. I don't know. Everything's pretty much 24-hour. So and we have all these lights on all the tractors and everything. So like, what's the point in all of this now? Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Yeah, I'm excited to do these guys up. I haven't decided exactly what their paint scheme is going to be precisely. If I'm going to keep it traditional or what. He's looking pretty fly. All right, we're going to keep all our heads in a bucket. We got 1 extra arm. It's definitely a Khorne piece. Alright, we got those 2 pieces to finish with him, and then you pull some pauldrons. We'll pull those pauldrons later. Let's see, we'll consult the book. Man, this makes a gang of these guys too, doesn't it? I forgot how many it makes. Like 9? Okay, where were we? Alright, he made this guy and that guy. Those two are done. I made that one. That's what's so crazy about Khorne. You can really, some of these things you can really kind of put together however you want. Okay. That looks like 7. Or 8. Seven, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It's so hard to tell. This is what's so fun when you get projects that are like halfway completed. You don't really know where we are. We're gonna jump over here to 9, which is I think where we might be at. Okay. No, this is 9. Maybe. Bread, I don't even know. Ah. You'd think you would have gone in order. That's not necessarily how that goes. All right. I think the best way to do is go with, we're going to find the groupings. So typically the way a sprue works, let's talk about this. This is good. I love to stay on the time we're currently on. I love the fall. Yeah. The Benny Hinn time. If you get that joke, you're a little too into things. Okay, so most sprues work in groups. So like this is 45, on there's 46, right? So these probably all go together right here. Maybe not the pauldrons. Those pauldrons are kind of mix and match how we want. But 48, 50, 49, all this stuff is probably going to go together. So if you ever get like sprues with no instructions, it's good to kind of know exactly how that works and like what you're looking at, because it can be intimidating, and it keeps you from buying like, oh, you could go online and buy sprues with no instructions, and a lot of times it's pretty cheap because people like, oh, instructions, so they have to sell it at a not quite the price they would want to. So you can pick up some deals that way. Or sometimes when you're out at like, an expo like we were at this time, they didn't have any sprues there, but at least not that I saw. Everybody I watched streamed an hour later which fucks with my sleep time. Yeah, I get to see that, man. It's like, oh man, everything messed up except for where you live. That'd be crazy. That would definitely not be the most fun in the world. All right, so we've got 2 legs, 2 arms, a torso, and a back. Okay, front torso, back torso. That's good. All right, do. Oop. All right. Find where that mole is. Just kind of like I said, just barely scrape that plastic away. No big deal. We're not in a huge hurry. And just go. Be careful though too, because there's always this little pin down here. little part to the filigree on the armor. So don't scrape that off. Like, this will help this gun holster look smoother. The mold line running up through things often like breaks that illusion of reality. The suspension of disbelief. And that's why you want to do it. But again, this is not, you are not required to do this to make models. It is definitely a little bit of a above and beyond kind of situation. One lay done. Yeah, I definitely would seriously mess with you in my sleep time too. I appreciate you being here, my friend. Glad you made it. I definitely understand how it's so wild. Like, the whole world is such a strange and wonderful place. Like, half the world is like, oh, we're just gonna change our clocks, and the other half of the world is like, but why? Like, what? And there used to be a lot more countries that switched their clocks. They changed it. I don't know when. I'd have to look all that up. I think I've looked it up before, but I just don't remember. Models these days are so strange. In the old days, it would have been like a pin here. And I suppose you could add one, but these models today are so much lighter. In the old days, we were making them out of metal and shit, so, you know, you needed to have pins and stuff in it. So this stuff, it works so well. And GW plastic is some of the best. Be careful when taking the material off, though. Don't get too crazy. You can easily take away stuff you needed. Really? Australia's got 4 daylight saving times. Whoa. Wild. I did not know that. Learn something new every day, right? Yeah, America, I think, in the U.S., Arizona is the state that doesn't. Like, I know Arizona doesn't do it. They're like, nah, we're good. We're not changing. We're not doing daylight saving time. But I think everybody else does. I think all the rest of the 50 do. And I think Puerto Rico does. But I don't know about any of the other U.S. territories. I think Puerto Rico does. It cracks me about people sort of like, think Puerto Ricans are not part of the U.S. And it's like, but they are. If they're Puerto Rican, then they're like, they are in fact U.S. citizens, because, you know, we own, as a country, we're like literally own, because it's a territory. It's not even a state yet, which is weird. I think the only reason we do that is because they don't want to have to put another star on the flag, which is weird. Who cares? Give them statehood. Let them vote. Hell. I think the same for all the territories, but I don't know. There's a lot of people that even have much of an opinion. Heck, there's probably a lot of people that don't understand that America has territories, like that. There's not states, like it's territories. Like, people don't know that. It's so crazy. But then again, a lot of Americans blow my mind with how oblivious they are to anything going on outside of their own sphere of their own bubble, their own sphere of influence. Hawaii and most of Australia or Arizona doesn't. American. Oh, so Puerto Rico doesn't. I thought Puerto Rico did. So Samoa, Guam, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, Northern Mariana Islands do not. Huh. There you go. Well, thank you, Sir McBeardsly, for getting that information out there for us. That's awesome. That's pretty interesting. I like that. It's such a weird thing. In this day and age, like, it totally did make sense. Like, I get when it made sense. I get it. Like, I do. But, like, now we're to this point where it's like, man, it doesn't make any sense. Why are we still doing this? We did that one, didn't we? No. We did. Doesn't look like it. Maybe I'm tripping. That has been known to happen. Yeah, well, it depends on what part of Arizona. Because some of Arizona is like mountainous. So when you get up into those parts of Arizona, it can get a little cold in the winter. But like southern Arizona, nah, man, it's like fair to Midlands most of the winter. It gets a little hot in the summer. Arizona's okay. Lots of produce out there. Some decent restaurants. Yeah, it's fun. Scottsdale's neat. Phoenix is alright. I prefer New Mexico though. If we're doing that kind of game. But I like the snow. I like the cold. Navajo Nation in Arizona, ones that recognize. Oh wow, and that's awesome. The Navajo Nation is like, but the rest of the state, that's hilarious. They're like, nah, we're gonna keep with the Fed time. It's fine. You love the Navajo. They're good people too. If you ever get a chance to party around with some Navajo folk, I highly recommend it. They're good people. It's a good firm press. The spirit of the wood, except more sunlight. Daylight savings time. That's fun. That's a fun conversation. But yeah, I never quite. I like Arizona, all right. It's not bad. How the hell is it going there? Oh, he's like. I'm gonna put this one on first because I think that's his plant foot there. I think the other one is. Oh, McDonald, have fun. E-I-E-I-O. I'm just going to stand. He's running. Very, very interesting pose there. I think I may have put too many models together since I can like literally do this without looking at shit. Might have been doing this for a little too long. Getting them on a base will help a lot. So here's what we're doing. We're going to mark one foot and mark the other foot, right? We don't need to like put a whole lot of glue on that first, because what we really want to do with this one is we want to go boop. Hopefully we can get a little bit of a mark here. Yep. And you can barely see it there and there. I don't know if you can in the. We're gonna, or on the live, but we're gonna do that up, and then now we're gonna come back and really give this a little bit of a shine. Do 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 do. And that's going to actually help set that piece there. And I know a lot of people don't like painting on their bases, and I get that. I do, but I do. I like painting on the base because I like grabbing onto the base. And that probably comes from back when they had the little slots in between them. That little slot you try to hold out thing made your hand cramp. Ugh, it's terrible. Yeah, I guess that makes sense the way he's moving. He's swinging that big ass sword around. That's some good. That's good movement. That's fun. Oh, that's good. That's good. I like it. I like it. A little glue here. A little glue there. Stay on there. If you nudge them, make sure you reset them right. You don't want them to dry on you wrong. That's why I definitely recommend if you've not done this several times before, go a little slower than what we're doing right here. We're putting together guys pretty quick here as far as like their glue set times. I'm not worried about this one. Those are going to be easy details to get to. So whereas we were a little bit more worried with that big great sword that came all the way across his chest, this one you can see as our pose. This one's sword, chain sword is coming all the way across like that, right? So it's coming across this. We're not going to be able to get to it easily. With this one, you can see everything is open, so we should be able to get our paintbrushes in here easily. So we can pull this model up to this level without too much of a fuss. My dog is acting like it wants out, of course. I'm gonna go right back. Let's see. Boom. Oh. Oh gosh, okay. We're back. We're back. What was I doing? Oh yeah, we're making Berzerkers. Okay. Who's next? This guy. Again, I definitely highly recommend you get some good snips. Oh, let's turn the camera back on, Pat. Ba-ding. Nope. Hey, why is it not doing? There it is. So again, and we're not. This backpack probably goes with the last guy we did. I like to put that flat side down against the model. As you'll see me kind of rotate this in and out. That's an important thing to remember. What is going on with that weird ass chain thing? I feel like that goes to something else. See, this is 125. Right here, 125. I guess we could look that up, huh? Oh, I bet you goes to this guy. Or one of these guys. With a double-handed weapon. Assume you'd have to find the other part to that, the other arm that has nothing in it. And that's also one of the fun things about 40K stuff is it can kind of vary a little bit. And that chain's cool. Let's see. What does the instructions say that? Okay. Yeah, it goes that big chain axe. And the other part is 124. So there's 125. There's 123. 122, 118. Man, am I tripping? Oh, there it is, 124. Yeah. Alright, so that piece, well, we don't know if that goes with this guy. Let's get him out of the way. I definitely went on some sort of weird wild goose chase here. Because that axe is so cool. We totally gotta do it. I wonder what Ascendium is. Probably somebody trying to con me out of something. $21, $19, 17 to 21 is the next part of that as well. That one. That one. And snip these ones out the ones that guy we were working on before we got off track. You know, because I'm wild. Okay, now, so we need. When's the next expo is on the 22nd. So not too far away, honestly. 20 used. Oh, there it is. Alright. $19, $21. I need this little piece here. Okay. So cool. That fits into. I should clean them up before we worry about it. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm a little giddy. I'm really kind of pretty excited about this army. This little bit of this army. I'm only painting up this one squad. Because I don't have any more Khorne. But I did a Khorne not too long ago, and I sold him off to pay for some AdMech pieces that I did for, or that I got for my oldest son. Who's changing his arm. He changed his army to AdMech, and that's more his style anyway. Not that any of them do a whole lot about playing, but winter's coming. That's usually when they want to mess with this stuff, so we'll see. Very clever on the mold lines there. That's one of those where you gotta appreciate the work that those modelers do when it comes to putting this thing into the mold lines. They are the molds for the design the sprues for them. Anyway, pretty damn good job. always dry fit them, right? It's always a good idea. Be careful when you're taking off material. Always watch what you're doing. Maybe spin that model around a couple times to take a good look at it. So we got too far in here. We take off all this guy's belt buckle, and that is definitely not what we want to do. Very carefully remove that material. Kind of want to come through and put their guns back in their holsters. Which isn't really all that difficult. I was way behind the live by like 9 minutes. Not sure if I answered my question or not. Which question? Oh, I don't know. Oh yeah, the expo. Yeah. It'll be 22nd. 22nd of this month. We're going to another one. And that one's in the city. It's the same place we were at, the one you came to. So, I think it's even in the same building. I'll have to look and see. But it's like a toy expo, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. One more once around, make sure we got all these little lines. They love to hide. It's a very tedious process. Which is why we're only going to do this one episode of this, and I'm going to do all the rest of this. Where you guys don't have to watch it. Because it's boring as shit. Man, hey, got us 4 likes. Good job, guys. Appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. That's pretty good for boring old model stuff. This part of it's boring. The painting part is exciting. This part is a little tedious and maybe just a little bit boring. More glue to this side. Here we go. I'm always sealing that glue up. I really don't want to sit around in a room where I've let the glue just kind of stay open. You're gonna, even with good ventilation, that's probably not going to go well. So 100%, make sure you're checking that. Get on here. See, there I go, going too fast again. Make sure to line that up with that belt just right. A little bit of excess poke through that glue, so we're just gonna kind of scrape that off real quick. Just make sure we're in good space. Probably not even gonna see all that once it's all said and done. That's how it always goes. Kit bashing, isn't it? No. I don't. Yeah, we were kid bashing a lot in the last one. We did where we were pulling kits apart and putting them together. And yeah, and this time if we do put those, yeah, the holsters, it would be technically a little bit of kit bashing. It's not that hard though. That one's pretty easy. We just take like oh, where's one of the guns? The hard part's getting the handle. But you could always just make a handle and put it coming out of the side of the holster, and you could always just cut the tip of a gun off to fit inside of there. You see what I'm saying? Or you could even just make a little muzzle that goes down there. Most people aren't even going to notice. It's definitely one of those where you're getting a little obsessive if you're going to that level. Which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. So we're going to want to put, oof, that's going to be kind of crazy. The best way to do this is probably, what does it say in the instructions? Okay. That's not a bad way of doing it. I definitely got to agree, you want to put the arm on the axe. Probably this one for sure. Yeah, so it's the one that's going to go right here. Might be a little more kit bashing than I'm willing to do for something I plan on selling. But I might do it. I don't know. I get like that sometimes where I'm like, Alright, we definitely want that to chill for a second. So we can put him on the base while we're waiting on that. I just got a bit pack from Great Tide Studio. I'll be very happy kit bashing whatever I get. Oh yeah, Black Templar. Oh cool. This the mega Xeno haters. Yeah, man, there's some really cool stuff out there. I've got a Space Wolf pack for 3D printing that's super cool. I think it even has like space bears in it. You can like space grizzlies or whatever. Make them instead of space wolves, space bears. It's kind of fun. It's still got that same kind of Nordic theme to it, but bears instead. I might make one of those for my wife loves bears. Alright, see now that guy's gonna be a little bit of a pain. So again, we're gonna come back. We made that first mark. We're gonna come back and just go ahead and goo that up. The second round there. Because like I said before, what you're trying to do here, the objective is to melt plastic together. I've said it a couple times. I'll say that a million times. So sometimes you just got to make that mark on there and then know where you're going. Let's see, let's see. McBeardsly went to DZ Comics next door after eating Indian food. Yeah. Oh man, I love that. The Great Himalayan is next door to DZ Comics for anybody who lives out here. Oh, well, you know what, Connor? For you, bud, I'll stay on for a little while. I'm not going to work anywhere today, so I've been having some of these spells. So, you know what? Yeah, why not? Let's just keep cruising. Let's see. I'm back to Mr. McBeardsly in his story. Let's see. I was looking at Warhammer kits, saw a big box of salamanders, showed it to the girlfriend and said, "Can we get it? It doesn't cost that much." And showed her the $170 price tag. She told me to put it back. Yeah, those Warhammer, the boxes, the big boxes are expensive. You want to like buy one whole army in a box, man, that gets expensive. I've got the Leviathan box. I've got some tanks. I've got a Devastator and an Annihilator for guard army. If I ever got around to those are belong to one of my long deceased brothers. And another one of my brothers today was his birthday. So happy birthday, Fight Master. Love you, my guy. Miss you down here in the mortal realms. Okay. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, so now here it gets a little bit tricky. So we're going to want to glue this, and just the tiniest, like literally make sure you're taking, you see I'm taking that excess off there? Just the tiniest bit, because we're going to start that plastic melting for us. Then we're going to do here, and here as well. Yeah, the big boxes do have, usually they put at least one or two of the really cool models in those things. Definitely trying to draw people in. Set that for just a second, let that kind of set up. Go. And kind of position this guy in. You see how it really wants to grab that hand. And there we go. Position that bottom of that chain down there to hit the links. And of course we missed a burr. God bless. Right there. That guy. So once this guy hardens up real good, we'll have to come back and get that reset. Get on there. Might have lost a little bit of our melty power there. Come on. There we go. Got all that set. Now come on, we just gotta make sure we get that chain set. We're in business. All right. There he is. Ready to rock and roll. Yeah, some of the armies have some like ridiculously cool models. So especially Chaos models, man. Chaos seems to have like, I don't know, man. They get the coolest models. And it seems unfair, honestly. Terribly unfair. Alright. Alright, we'll put together this next guy. He's got a bolter though, and I kind of want to give him plasma pistols. Kind of give him all plasma pistols. This guy went with whatever was in these screws, so we should be able to just pull this one and set it up for the other one. And you can even, we could even give him an axe instead of a chainsaw if we wanted to. But I feel like this one's in a very specific pose where these, you know, these aren't all that different. Thanks for all the likes. We're up to 6. Holy moly, we're flying. Thanks everybody, appreciate that. Gonna be on tomorrow. I'm free tomorrow, no school. Yeah, I'll be home. I'll be on tomorrow for sure. We my goal is to be painting by tomorrow, so we're gonna be getting all this hobbying done. Get the modeling side of things knocked out, and then we'll be so we can get onto the painting side. Manana. Yeah, I like it. I like the enthusiasm, my friend. It makes me that definitely makes me smile. Appreciate you. Today I definitely need a good smile today, so thank you. Okay. Like I said, make sure you got your mold lines to your satisfaction. Any little nubs and flash that we need to get off of there. Sometimes like this one here is not too far off of the actual deal, so we don't really worry too much about that. Just make sure you clear most of that material off. And like, since you're going to glue things to these guys, a little bit of extra roughness here for the glue is not a bad thing. So if you're going to spend your time getting obsessive about getting rid of things, it's good to know like where it's going to count. It's not going to count here. It's going to count down in here. And like, you know, this one's not too bad. You're going to count like right here. Well, that definitely looks wrong. That mold line is funky. You can see it rolls all the way down into here. So a little bit of ease, a little bit of just slight, so that slight angle, we're just kind of pulling it across. I'm just going to scrape it right off. And I'm pulling away from the angle that the blade is pointed, right? I'm pulling it this way, and the blade is angled down that way. Now, of course, there's always times where it's not going to do what you want it to do. So you will have to occasionally vary your tactics. But it's almost always set an angle and pull away from the angle instead of going into the angle. Oh, more news. Other good news for the channel, or the shop at least. Maybe not necessarily for me or for the channel. A little both. I guess good news for the shop is good news for the channel. We have more commissions for Forgotten Labyrinth. So big shout out to the Travis and the folks down there at Forgotten Labyrinth. I really appreciate getting to work with you guys. Lots of fun. They really liked the other 2 pieces we did. And so now we have like, God, there's a whole gang of them here. I don't even know how many he sent me home with. There was a box. There's a whole box. So we'll be working on those from time to time. Probably off camera just to get them knocked out. A lot of that stuff's going to need to be airbrushed. And now that I've got my compressor back going and my needle situation figured out, I should be able to knock that thing out pretty quick. So I definitely recommend definitely see why you would want airbrushing on your larger buildings and stuff like that. You don't necessarily need. I don't think you necessarily need airbrushes for your figures, although it could make it a lot easier. But when you're talking about when you're getting into doing terrain, it really becomes a point where it's like, oof, this is a lot of ground to cover. It just makes it a lot faster if you could knock it out with an airbrush. I mean, of course, I did those things, and it was only like 10 or 11 and a half hours, so it wasn't that much time. Wasn't that much time for 2 large pieces, hand painted, like hand painted. But I think we can move along faster and get a lot more done for the store with the airbrush, which would make sense when you really kind of think about it. Totally makes sense. I love this glue so much. It's so easy. Kind of want to get another box of these and do them all as like chorus girls. They all have their. If we manipulated it just a little bit, you could make them kind of. They could look like they were doing a chorus line. Blood for the blood god, sachets for the sachet throne. Sachet Shantae. That's ridiculous. That joke may be too old for a lot of my viewers. That joke's pretty old. That joke may have been a little too old for me, honestly. That was a pretty old timer kind of joke there. Do they even do the chorus line anymore? I haven't watched the Macy's Day Parade in forever. I don't even know if they do chorus lines anymore. Man, there's a gang of these suckers. Is there 8 of them? Probably. No, 9. That's weird. 9? In Khorne? Shouldn't it be 8? Shouldn't everything in Khorne be 8? Just saying. I'm just saying. You know. Oh, there we go. We have 1 Berzerker champion. I wonder which one's supposed to be the champion. I know, I have to look that one up. Carrying on. They're all the same size base, so I think that's one of the things about you get into the heretic armies. A lot of times it's hard to tell which ones are like the champs and the squad leaders and which ones aren't. Who is this guy? This is supposed to go on this guy, wasn't it? Yep. Tzeentchian cultist stole my laptop. Oh my god, that would be a hilarious spoof story or something, like a fun Warhammer detective kind of story. Like, this guy's got to go on a search for his laptop that Tzeentchian sorcerer stole. He gets himself wrapped up in some wild shit. Let's see, here we go. Bust right through that damn. And this is why you want to clean that stuff up before you glue it together. Now, hopefully, we can get that reset. I think we can. I don't think it was really glued on well in the beginning to begin with. It is in the right position. Okay, there we go. There you go. Now you, my friend. See, we could even, if you wanted to, you could pull the frickin' guns and literally swap the guns out, which is one option. Another option is to put the plasma pistol on him. It's looking great. Where's his other weapon? Sword. Oh yeah, that's fun. I'll turn it all the way up. Turn for what? I didn't even see anyone on there that looked like that. That's definitely how I'd pose this dude. Let's get him on a base. Be like the, was it Zintian cultist stole my laptop? It's like aliens ate my homework or something like that. I remember that old this book, I think, if I'm right. I think they did end up making it into some sort of a film, but just make sure. I think I forgot to do this one. Always pays to make sure, right? We've already seen what happens when you don't. It's not fun. You end up having to go back and mess with stuff. Usually at a bad time and place. It usually does not end well. Oh yeah, we definitely could put that plasma pistol in there, no problem. Probably should drill all these barrels out too. It's a lot easier to do that when it's... Thoughts on Tau? I love Tau. I'm not like, I don't know, I'm not a hater on any of the factions. They all have their own thing. I remember when the Tau kind of came out. God, that seems like a million years ago. And then they get a lot of hate, but honestly, man, it's fun to have different armies, and it's kind of fun to have the, you know, oh, these people don't like these people, and da, 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 da. It's just it's all part of the fun if you let it be. Now, if you don't want to have a good time and you want to kind of be a butthead about stuff, you know, I guess that's your prerogative, but you know, I mean, I want to play with you. But like, yeah, it's a neat idea, man. And if it's not, I don't know. Like I said, I don't really think there's any need to particularly hate on one faction or another. every single faction's kind of got their crap, and every single faction's kind of got their cool stuff. So there's a lot of like, ask a Doug, man. As you say, don't ask me. I've got a knit army. I gotta get back on them too. I've got to finish. There's so many termagants to paint. God. Take your time when you're getting your barrels started, so you don't end up in the wrong angle. And always check your angles. Kind of keep moving around. Kind of take a look. You don't need to go far. Just a little bit, and it makes a huge difference. You see the difference between that and my dog's barking again. See, difference between no drill and drill. Huge difference. Absolutely, man. Good night, brother. Gets you some rest. Oh, man. I think you hit that thing like 2 times. Oh, I think you fell asleep on your keyboard, bro. I'll be right back. I gotta let this dog in. Cat mobile. Give it a good swingy. Alrighty, let's see, where were we? Oh yeah, putting this guy together. We're talking about drilling out gun barrels. Always drill out barrels. And it is a little easier to do it when they're off the guy, but you can do it when they're on there too. Not impossible. Just a little bit of twist. You want to kind of rub your stuff around in there. I like that guy. He looks completely out of control, which is exactly what you expect from Berzerkers. Just completely out of control. Big white spring. I love it. I gotta pack up now. See you tomorrow. Absolutely, man. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow will be more. Like I said, we'll do more of the actual painting tomorrow. So, all right. What do we got left? This guy here, another axe. He got a plasma pistol. Cool. We got a couple of these guys left to go. Oh, that's got to be the champion. That's the champion right there. Let's put the champion together. If he doesn't have a plasma pistol, I'm pissed. Pissed. How's he running around with? Come on, man. The champ should totally have a plasma pistol. That seems wrong. That seems wrong. He didn't have like a cool pistol. If we're gonna give him one of those. We want to give him the one that has the actual slugs falling out. That's cooler. He should totally have a plasma pistol. I almost feel like we should have to pull that off of that other guy we just put on, so we can put it on the champ. Right? I guess you got time to do that. Come up here. Slowly turn it, pull it out. Right. So I guess we'll go back to what his guy was supposed to be. Because man, how are you not going to give the champion a plasma pistol? I mean, we keep the stats the same or whatever, but man, I feel like you did him dirty, man. You did that guy dirty. Again, I'm okay with this one because I can get in here. I still got room to paint all that, so I'm not worried about him getting too close off. We got real close with this guy, But since he's so open, we should be all right getting in there. This one was the one, like my son did this one, and he's going to be a little bit more difficult. But luckily, it looks like we're going to be okay here as well. Not big, huge, big deal. Like even this guy, he's not got no gun on him. Ooh, looks like that didn't get done right. But the holster is empty, and I don't know that I like that. So we may end up coming back and filling in all these blank holsters on these guys that have the great weapons. We definitely want to make sure we take care of this. You don't want this sitting around like that. Worst comes to worst, we'll put a little sprue goo in there. We really don't want to do that because that stuff gets super messy super fast. So try to see if you can't get it to reattach with just some regular glue and some pressure. Another reason why I really like this particular brand of glue, that little brush helps you get down onto the inside there and really be able to work this in. Okay, now really carefully, I'm just kind of rocking it into the socket. I don't know if you can see the, yeah, you can see the plastic kind of pulling apart now, which is a good sign. So now we're going to hold it real tight. You could even clamp this if you have the proper clamps for it. Oh, got like this. Work out real well here. Very carefully. All right, that round shoulder is giving us a little trouble, so we're going to bevel this out. And we're going to let it set. Awesome. So we're great. We let go of it, and it's not flecking off of there. We did pretty good. And just to show you how strong that stuff really is glued to the base. I mean, it's just sitting there on the base. So if you glue them to the bases properly, they're not going to come off, even as weird and wild as they all are. Okay, what were we doing? I was going to build this champion, right? That's what we were talking about, wasn't it? Before I got all weird and sidetracked. Yeah, this is definitely the champ. He's got a much cooler like tabard here, or whatever. His sword's pretty cool. Definitely got to give him a face where we can see his butcher's nails. Probably one of these these masks got the World Eater face on it. Those are super cool. Okay. So again, flat side away from the actual model we want to keep. Beveled side to the sprue, because we don't necessarily need to keep the sprue. And that's really going to mostly help keep us from having to file off any nubs or do too much work on our nubs. What is the difference between these two heads? I don't think you're, oh, it's the grill, face grill. Boom, right? How tedious. I think the champion's the one that's got the big thing on his back, because there's only one of those. That's gotta be it. This guy's gotta be the champion. So I guess it doesn't matter that we did all the other work. Because that's probably the thing that makes him the champ, right? I don't know. I don't know enough about Khorne units yet. All I know is about how to paint things and make it look good. Getting rid of that nub. Alright, get this last one kind of done up, and then we're gonna call it a day. Definitely a little longer show today. We're usually only on for about an hour, but due to popular demand, we stayed a little later. You know, I like to show out for my homies. You got to do it for the fans, man. You can't just do it 'cause for you. You got to do it for the fans. That's a lot of parts to one torso there. I guess it's a torso and a partial leg, huh? That is an unfortunate mold line right there. So I say sometimes they can't help it. They've just got to put it where it's going to be. It's not always the best place for the modelers. Or the painters, just say. I guess when you're modeling it, you're kind of looking forward to this, messing around with that sort of thing. I kind of like it. As weird as that seems. It's an unfortunate place for a nib too, right there. Really rough spot. If you don't pull that off there, when you go to glue that together, it is not going to hold well. I guess I understand that, but it does seem like they should just print that on there. Or mold it with it on there. Kind of ridiculous. Well, I guess some people may not want to put them on there if you're not gonna have a pistol on them, I guess. I don't know. course, it's not going to play nice. It's going to be kind of a pain in the ass. And I mainly went the plasma pistols because I want to be able to. I want their coils to look cool. That's the only reason I'm putting them on here. Same thing here. Get that sealed back up so we're not breathing fumes. Oh yeah. It seems weird that like these little tiny things make such a difference, but they really do. It takes your paint job from your basic battle ready to dress uniform, I guess. Yeah. I like that pose better anyway. This one is cool. And this one was cool. The plasma pistol. But that's cooler. I like that. Make it a little bit more aggressive. Yeah. There we go. All right, my friends. You guys are amazing. Thank you all so much. We had so many people show up today. Mr. Duckman, Connor, Sean, Sir McBeardsly, everybody really, really really appreciate all of you so much. You know, when I started all this, I never thought we'd go anywhere, honestly. So it's so cool. We're up to 450 subscribers, which is really crazy. So if you like what you saw, give us a like and subscribe. Help us get to 500. That'll be a big. This is like a big deal. 500 is. So we're gonna get there, and then we're gonna. I don't know what's gonna happen there, but I think that's like a. Seems to be a big deal to YouTube because it's on my little chart thing. I don't know what you call that thing. The app that tracks it when you're a maker of YouTube videos instead of a consumer. So anyway, 500 is important. Don't know why. So yeah, help us get up to that level so we can see what happens. I want to see what happens. Don't you? Oh man, I gotta get the Millennium Falcon up too. It looks so plain back there. But that's kind of how it goes, I guess, when we're in between shows and everything's packed up in its travel boxes. So awesome. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Be painting by tomorrow. I'll get these guys wrapped up and put some primer on them, and then we'll be back. We'll be back on tomorrow, and we'll start painting, which will be great. Do some zenithal highlighting and all that kind of fun stuff. Pick a color palette maybe if we get lucky, and yeah, be off from there. But yeah, thank you all so much. Oh, we almost ran for 2 hours. That's incredible. Good deal. Yeah, I think that's all I got. I'm getting a little tired too, so again, take a break, go stretch around, that kind of stuff. You shouldn't really be sitting down for 2 hours without moving a whole lot. It's bad for your circulation, y'all. Anyway, be good to yourselves. Be good to other people. Spread some good out there. Be good to people you don't know. I promise it'll help. If we all kind of start doing it, it'll help out. I promise. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys later.